Thank you so much for joining us once again on Going Beyond. My guest is Tina Vincent. She's a very well known designer here in Chennai and is known well all over the country. Tina's been around in the business for many, many years, well over 25 years. But guess what I love about Tina is the fact that she has focused much of her design work on those of us who are tall, big boned, and beautiful. So thank you very much, Tina, for coming here today.
My pleasure.
I hope that wasn't too arrogant an introduction, but you
No, it
are
sums it up.
you are an outstanding designer. You've
Thank
been
you.
around for so long. I was just wondering about your beginnings. I mean, I think it's been more than 25 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, the label XXL is 25 years, but I've been around for like 35 years now.
So who taught you in the beginning to design and cut and stitch and whatever?
I didn't really get taught. It's a self-taught inbuilt thing. I don't know how it came about. Like especially when came up with XXL. Earlier it was different because I was doing regular sizes. I myself was much slimmer. Then I had two babies. I
You
went on the
moved up the
plus.
ladder. Hmm.
Yes. So then what happened is I did look I'd gone to US, I think with my little one, he was 6 months old. I saw the plus size stores there. So when I came back, I wanted to go out into this line. And the size charts of UK or US. In those days there was only one plus size store in UK and I think two brands in US. So it wasn't like even then it wasn't like a you know
It wasn't a big thing
it wasn't a
there.
common thing. Yeah.
Right. But it
So
must have been quite a shock in the Indian market for you to suddenly come out with, double XL and triple XLs.
yes,
What was the reaction, Tina, I wonder?
a lot of them didn't want to come and shop at my store because my bag said XXL, my tag said XXL. So they were like, this is so demeaning to us. I'm like, this is for those who want to embrace themselves the way they are. I mean, there are enough people doing for the other. You're most welcome. But if you wanted the right fit, and I somehow got the size chart right. I don't know how.
Right.
It's just something from me. And then once you got that right, it was easy. I started with 5 sizes on the rack. I think I still pretty much, it holds good 25 years later.
That's amazing. So
I
you
haven't
really,
changed the chart.
that was the right direction you
Yeah.
went in. And do you find nowadays that people come in quite happily wanting,
Oh, now people, are proud to wear XXL. They don't have any qualms about saying I'm wearing a Tina Vincent, and everybody knows Tina Vincent is XXL, right? So now it is a completely different turnaround. But when we started out, I had so many people angry with me, and I wouldn't call like I was very active in the social scene before I started my store. Um, but I refused to call people just because I knew them. I advertised in the Hindu back then, and I had a quarter page, and then I opened my store, and that's it. And from then on, whoever walked in because they wanted the clothes, not because they knew me or they were doing me a favor. Because normally when you open a store and you call friends and family, they come
Yes.
and they buy one thing just because they have
Just to please you.
Yes, and I didn't want that
Mhm.
for the store. I started small, yes, but I think it was the right move at the right time because I think that first Christmas, if you must know, I started on October 20th, 2000, and that first Christmas, I worked all night for almost a week till New Year's actually, and we had queues. I was taking appointments 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30 in the night. So that's how much it grew, you know. People knew who we were and started coming in, and.
Right. So, can I ask on your rack itself, although I'm familiar with the store
Mhm.
itself, do you have little sizes and then are you graduating up on the rack itself?
Yes, now we do. Earlier, it used to be only plus size. I used to start from what is called US size 12 and upwards. Now I do have petite, I have extra small, I have all sizes,
Okay. So, does
including
that,
baby.
yeah, right, does that do well then, I wonder?
Uh,
The littler sizes? Or do you
no,
still
my
find
plus
people?
size is my main thing. The other one is for the modeling crowd and for the actresses, or those are the people who come for the smaller sizes. To be honest, I don't have a, and those who are extra small, where when they go out, they come to me.
Right.
So because they don't get mature clothes at that size. So
Mature is a nice word to use, Tina.
no, because the minute you're really small and petty, then they think you're a kid size. You're not. I
Yes.
mean, you're a grown up woman who needs clothes that reflect your age as well as your size.
Right.
So
Do you ever actually design for specific clients?
always. What do
Really?
you mean? Always.
I,
What,
I
I didn't
meant I
understand.
meant to say, or is it just that you come in and off the rack, what's there, you
No,
just
no, no,
take
no.
that?
I have clients who are regulars, right? I mean, 25 years and regular. And you know some of them.
Yes, I know.
So,
In fact, Pony
Pony, yeah.
Concesa was on the show the other day, and I
Yeah.
do know that she came in wearing a Tina Vincent, and she
She
made.
always wears a Tina Vincent for anything, anywhere. I mean, she's been loyal for the entire 25 years for the brand.
Mm.
In fact, I sat and designed my logo with her in her office. We were
Interesting.
friends then. So the logo designing was done in her office.
Now, Tina, you have a reputation for
Mhm.
using very fine fabric.
Yeah.
And I know that you actually source your fabrics from
Mhm.
all over the world. Are
Mhm.
you still doing that, or do you find
Yes.
you've got good stuff in India?
So the thing is, good stuff in India is accessible by all, right? If I want to be exclusive, then I really need to go to every. So the last few years, because of COVID, I think the last I traveled, I mean, I did travel this year, but prior to that, it was 2020 January, and then I did travel in between. Luckily for me, Vincent is my husband has always been the traveling, sourcing person for me right from the beginning. He would find the supply and then I would keep going back to buy more. But the initial find, the going through the streets of whichever country and literally sourcing the fabric I'm searching for was always him.
But
So
that's a
now he does it.
that's a great, a great partner to have in your business. Your
Yes.
son is also a designer, I know.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
My second son is a designer
Uh-huh.
and he does unisex clothing and he follows a niche. He only does it for musicians, performers. So he's moved himself into a little niche over there, works with record labels, works only with performers, and he's happy where he is.
Right. That's very interesting, Tina. When you look at yourself going forward, maybe in a couple of years, do you think you might change track somewhere along the way, or will you still go with the kind of designs? And how often do you change your designs?
I create pretty much every day something new. It just works out like, see, when you're handling clients and their entire wardrobes for the year, and literally that's how most of my clients are. Monthly, they need, and they come with, these are the events this month, and this is my work schedule for the month. So then you're making clothes for them. And I've been doing the same thing for 25 years. So obviously, I cannot give them something that it's been done.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll end up creating something new every day, pretty much.
Right. So you have a personal relationship with your clients, as one
Yes.
can see.
Yes.
So you would know what type of clothes they want, what kind of fabric suits them.
Yes.
So it's a very intimate relationship with your clients, I think,
Yes.
Tina.
It is.
You
It is like that.
Do you find that works?
It does. I
Yeah.
mean, see, for the new client who walks in and they keep coming,
Hmm.
there is enough on the rack to choose and pick from, right? I mean, I'm always adding something to the rack. Today, I can send you what I did new today, which has not been on the rack in 25 years. I mean, literally, I gave it out and then came. I gave them the design to make and then I came out here. So that's how we work. Like every day, I have to add, not just for the newcomers who may walk in, but even my existing clients, when they come, the first thing they do is scan what is new. And then they will scan that. They may come 3 days the week, the same week, but they'll still expect something new in their size to be able to take back.
So tell me then,
Yeah.
for my own use, I suppose, what is the new color? What's the new design?
I think I'm a little bit ahead. So I like corals, and it is actually forecast for next summer, but I think I'm already in that right now. So the yellows, that color's in. Uh,
Oh, we've got the right colored flowers.
yeah. So and the corals and the reds, um, blush pink. These are all in for the coming season. But I've been doing that for the last few months. So I don't know where I'll go few months. But right now I'm in that you're in the right tone.
Oh,
You
good.
know?
That's just by luck, not by
Yes.
design.
I know. But it's the perfect tone. So that's what I've been working with right now. And I'm always into metallics. So I like my gold and my silver, and I do like that. So you see a lot of that at the store. Yeah.
Right. Uh, so you have a reputation for making clothes and designing clothes that are pretty wearable. I never
Yes.
see anything with a Tina Vincent label that's absolutely over the
Oh
top.
no, yeah, it has to be something either what I call my muse. My clients are my muses, and in when I'm designing, I'm always thinking of that person. Like, would this look good on that person? And then I make it. So it'll never be something that is looks great on a mannequin or a model, but my client cannot walk out with.
Right.
So even when I do shows, if you notice, even if it's a model zero size walking, it's the exact same garment that can go fit my client because I would have kept the allowances inside and I'll just take it right out to give it to my client after the show.
Right.
So that's how I've always worked.
So do you actually, apart from your designing the clothes, do you actually cut the garment? Do you stitch
No,
it?
no, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I have learned how to do it.
So you've got a
In
pretty
between,
good team. You've
I
got
got
a
a
good.
great team.
Okay.
It's been with, I think they've come and gone, but by and large, one of them has been with me the entire 25 years. The other one is about 14 years now. There are others who have, moved on because they passed away, not because they left me to go to somebody else, because of other circumstances, which, they're no more around. So that's
Right.
why they're not there with me.
So, Tina, what do you think about the fashion industry as it exists today in India? What is your actual feeling about it? Some of it is so weird. I can't imagine, some stuff. It just seems totally unwearable to my mind. Maybe I'm being old fashioned as I say this.
Okay, so here I would have said this, say, maybe a few years back,
Hmm.
but then I'm watching my son, right? And he makes what I consider, unwearable.
Over the
But
top.
yes, over the top. But then he's doing it for performers. And he actually wears those clothes and he carries it off everywhere he goes. I mean, his clientele comes from the fact that they watch him and then, they come and shop. So he's getting away with it. So there's nothing, now I know there's nothing called I mean, maybe there is. When I see the student shows and all, yeah, there's a lot, which is over the top. And where would you wear that stuff? But I also know that there is a balance. And I think people are trying to do that. If you see runways of the national level, you see wearable garments. You don't see that. Even recently, NIFT
Yes.
passing out the bamboo, whatever.
Skirts and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, where would anybody? Why would they? I know it was done 20 years back, but for you to still be repeating that, that's ridiculous. But 99% of the fashion industry has moved forward. And what you see is sensible, wearable clothing on the runways nowadays.
Right. What about on the runways overseas then? Do our clothes find a space there?
Yes, you do know that so many of them have gone
Hmm.
and they're doing really well. And, Sabyasachi has gone another level.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's everywhere now, jewelry now, everything. So we have made a mark. There are enough, and then Indian models now. There's quite a lot going on,
Yeah.
And I think India is the flavor in the world news right now. So
For many different things, of
for
course.
many things,
Many things,
so
yes.
fashion is a forerunner there. Yeah.
Right. You are what they call nowadays an influencer. Am I right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm doing what I've always done, The world around me has evolved. I think I'm still the same person, but yeah, it's good to know. See, I've always done the same job of influencing people, trying to push their, comfort zones. I mean, the same Pony. I mean, she should have told you this story.
Yes.
But when she came in to me, she was so, because I'm an architect, I only want, structured clothing. I want this length. I want the collar. But you see her now.
I do.
Yeah. So what if you're an architect? You're still a woman. So let them know you're a woman in their midst. That's how we changed her. It took time, and But that's how it is for anybody.
So this goes back to the fact about the relationship with your clients, of
Mhm.
course, right?
Mhm.
So you've had clients for a very, very long time,
Yeah,
Tina?
yeah, from all over.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember the show you had where you had people who came on and wore some of your old stuff that they
Yes.
had from earlier. And
Yes.
I thought that that was such an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that you were able to get into something that you'd worn a long time ago, which is what happened with me, and I was delighted.
Yeah.
But you're going to repeat that sort of thing anytime again?
This year is the 25th year for my store.
Ah,
That I did for my 20th year.
okay.
So this is the 25th. I'm still debating on which direction my show is going to take. I have not yet formalized the whole thing. So let me see what I come up with. But I also know, I mean, I know that year was so, I don't know how it just worked. People actually had their garments.
I know.
Okay.
That was very interesting, I
Yeah,
must
they
say.
actually had it. I mean,
Mm.
the girl who first walked the ramp, the first one, she was something from the year I started. The next one started, she came in December of that year. So it was almost Jan of the next. So I put her under 2001, you know. But they actually had the first garment they had shot from me.
Well, I had something that was, I think, 10
Yes.
years old, 10 or
Yeah,
11 years
yeah, your
old.
son's wedding
Which,
thing.
yes,
Yeah.
which was just amazing.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it, and I've still got it.
Yeah.
And I still get into it, I'm happy and proud to say.
Yeah.
But tell me, what does it feel like for you as a designer when you see someone, when you go somewhere socially and you can see somebody walk in with a Tina Vincent? You must feel good.
Obviously, it's a proud moment.
Yes.
But, it is. It's a lovely feeling. Um, but as a mum, okay, I'm gonna bring
Yes.
it back because for
Yes.
me, I think I'm a mum first and then the designer. So now that my boys have grown up and I see my older one perform or he's recording his song or the little one and his shows, and like he had a exhibition stall 2 days back and I did nothing to help him out. And I know he's evolved. The stall was so beautifully put up and they did a better job than I would have done.
How
So
sweet. It was very nice of you to say that. That means he doesn't come to you for advice or what?
no, I was asking, should I even come? Because it didn't look like it extended an invitation to me. And then he said, yeah, you can come, you know. And then I just said, okay, I'll come for half an hour. But I went there and I was so pleasantly surprised by how much he has evolved, right? So I'm just saying, like for me, more than seeing now, as much as I enjoy the fact that I am
Well known designer, yes.
yeah, for me now, I think my pleasure comes from my kids and what they are up to. And I know it's very cliched, but
But why not? Nothing
yeah,
wrong with that. Nothing wrong
yeah,
with that at all.
that's what
Yes.
it's a whole bundle. Yeah.
Right. Tell me, Tina, are most of your clothes now? I'm familiar with your clothes and your styling,
Mhm.
but is most of it towards Indian garments or Indian style garments, or are you more into a fusion? Are you more in a combination of Western and Eastern? How does it work?
I prefer doing Western clothes. I mean, that's where my heart is, my passion is. But I also must tell you that my Indian clothes is what gives me the more money.
Really?
Yeah. Sad but true because there's more embellishments, there's more detailing there, so and silk by itself being I only work with silks or organic, anything organic which I can dye, and I do not buy pre-dyed fabric at all. Like everything is done by us.
What you
So
wearing?
yeah, so it's not pre-done, you see. So
Yeah.
and no two things will be the
Yeah,
same.
that's true. That's an interesting concept. Yes.
So the thing with it's been 25 years, but this is a thing I've given my clients that I will not repeat a garment. So there will be a detail, however small, which is different from A to B, because I don't know how to do that mass production, same. I don't know how to do it.
Right.
So everybody who owns a Tina Vincent can be 99% sure it's a single piece.
So are you
I'm
saying
talking about, now I'm not talking about basics, like a
right?
basic black t-shirt, you know.
You can't do much with that. Yes.
So that's a V-neck or a boat neck or a slit, that's about, the neckline can change, but this is just a basic t-shirt, right? But I'm talking about Indian clothes or any Indo-Western outfit that is made, you know, we have a detail to it, whether it's the embroidery which will change, the beads in the embroidery which will change. Sometimes people will come and say, I want the same thing. So even when I'm repeating, I make sure there is the changes because the embroidery will not be the exact same. It will have a change.
So you've really carved a niche for yourself, I can see. What about the film industry? Have you ever touched on that? Because we are big in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai.
I've been there, come back. I'm happy where I am. I did that for a few years, and that's where I learned the art of. That's where I have my 24-hour delivery line from, because I work like that for them. You know, they give you insane deadlines.
Last minute.
Everything is last minute, and then they'll want it by 6 o'clock in the morning. You're working all night. That's where I learned that from. So to that, I'm eternally grateful. For my little stint in that. But what I realized is I thought that if I can do it for them, why can't I do it for the common people? Why does it have to be only celebrities who get that treatment? So that's what I've incorporated into my line, my store.
Now, in terms of pricing, Tina,
Hmm.
your clothes are not cheap. But at
No.
the same time, I do believe that they are within a certain range.
Yeah.
Within a
They're not
range.
they're not your normal designer exorbitant either,
Hmm.
but they're not your Marks and Spencers either. Mine are handmade, right? And each fabric is like I said, it's processed individually. I don't buy 20 meters of any fabric or 10 meters of any fabric. We buy 3-meter cuts, 5-meter cuts, wherever we buy, anywhere. Like Vincent, the entire last year, if you see, was America, Singapore, Bangkok, Dubai. He even shopped for me in Georgia. I mean, wherever he goes, Kashmir, wherever he goes, he's always shopping for me. So, and I buy only 3 or 5-meter cuts. So there's only that much.
But then, Tina, supposing I come into your store and want that particular thing in the same fabric, you can't get it
I
for
can't
me.
get it. I can't repeat
But
it.
that's sad for me, isn't it? That's bad luck.
Yeah, it's bad luck. Because sometimes we buy 5.5 meters, but 99% it's only 3 or 5. That's the cut normally that I buy. 3 is enough for a top or a kurta or a dress, right? And then you add some fabric to it if you wanted something more. But that's
But Tina, why did you decide to go in this direction?
because I wanted to be exclusive. I don't like the feeling of walking into a room and finding somebody else wearing something like mine. I hated that then before so I came into this with that thing that it has to be unique. When you walk into a room, you're the only one wearing that. There can't be 2 others
Right.
or 1 other.
Right.
So
Was your mother ever into designing or anybody in your family?
no, my dad did leather for a while.
Okay,
He had
interesting.
leather factory, and he was, those what he did then, I can see around now. But I unfortunately don't have the samples or the pictures of what he did then. But different colored leather pieces and making a skirt, which is now so much in vogue. But he did it then. I mean, he stopped when that the ban came about in the country.
Yeah.
So that's when he stopped and he closed his factory down. But there's a skirt that went down through all the girls. He had 3 daughters. First my older one, and then the second one, and even I got to wear it. And those are the things that you remember that for.
Right.
But yeah, apart from so I guess he had some design trait in him. I personally, I think by the time I grew up, I mean, he was there till 15 years back. But even when I started my store, I don't think they were very happy about it.
Oh, really? Why? What
Because they
for?
wanted me to look after babies and stay home and be the housewife,
Hmm.
because Vincent was alone. His parents were no more. So they felt like I had to be his support system, not go out and do my own number.
Hmm.
It all changed when my dad was a doctor, a homeopath.
Hmm.
And so he got a client. She was a model and a VJ, whatever, who was using my clothes. And she didn't know she was going to my dad. So she goes to him because her in-laws take her. And she sees my picture on the wall there, and she goes like, how do you know her? And they go like, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
And then it changed the whole family acceptance of what I do. My dad was so tickled that his patients knew me.
Yes.
It changed the way they viewed me after that. I know that then they became proud of their daughter, and then they didn't object to me being a working mom. But I was a mad working mom.
It-
I think I worked 24/7 the first 10 years. My babies were literally 5 and 6 months old when I started.
But you've made a pretty good go of it,
Yeah.
being obviously a very good mother
Yeah.
and a very competent designer, very well known.
Mhm.
So, looking back,
Mhm.
Tina, was it a good route that you've been on all your life?
I wouldn't change anything.
Really?
I loved all my experiences, good or bad. I've had a good life.
Right.
I I think I liked what I did. I'm glad of my choices. I've of course had the support of my family throughout, so that has helped because I see people struggle without the support. I see women entrepreneurs struggle, without
Yes.
the background support. I was blessed that way.
I think so. I think your husband seems to be an invaluable
Yeah.
part of your
Yeah,
success.
I lucked out. I
Uh,
really did.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Anybody who can do the kind of thing he does,
Yeah.
I mean, he has his own work as well, doesn't he?
Yes.
He's in the
As I was busier than ever, but when he travels, he takes that day off and half a day to search. He'll Google where to go there, send me pictures from there. It doesn't take, if you really want to put it down, it takes about 2-3 hours, right? That's the max. He'll send me all the pictures and then I'll quickly pick from it. Because today's world, everything's on the phone. So, I pick what I need and then he picks some things he needs, he
Right.
thinks will work, and that's it, we're done.
Just a final question, Tina.
Mhm.
Have you ever played with the things like your father did? I mean, in terms of leather, or do
No.
you?
No, I've not done
But
leather
what
at all.
stopped you from doing that? What stopped you from being, shall I say, adventurous?
My son is doing leather now, but
Okay. Oh,
I-
he is.
he is. I help him with that, but I never, because I was dealing with plus size women,
Yes.
that being my total focus,
Right.
right? And it,
So in the beginning, it must have been hard for you to convince these ladies who walked into your store
Mhm.
to buy something a little risque, if
Yeah,
that's the word.
yeah.
Did that happen at
It
all?
did a lot with most of them. But I think I've successfully converted Chennai.
They've all become very modern.
Definitely,
Right.
it has worked out.
Right. Tina, you've been such a great success, and it's been absolutely delightful for me to have the pleasure to talk to you. I've seen your work over the years. I've worn some of your stuff, not
Yeah.
all of it, I must confess. But I really want to thank you so much for coming here. I do appreciate so much your time.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks a lot,
I
Tina.
really, really was honored that you called me.
Thank you.
I told you that.
No, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
My pleasure too,
And
really.
please congratulate.
You've always been one of my favorite muses. So I always have you in my head when I'm designing. So
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you, Tina. Say hello to your husband.
I will.
And please offer him our congratulations. May his
Will do.
tribe increase and there be
Yes.
more people like that. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
Thank you, Jen.
Well, it was our pleasure to be with you here on Going Beyond. And I hope you're going to keep watching this program because I've had a great time talking to Tina Vincent. She's been my designer now and then, but it's been a marvelous half hour that I've had with her. So we'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Bye for now.